Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Two Exiles, One Portal. We're just sitting here, chilling, talking about some random shit, talking about the news. Not like the news, but like,
Fuck, God forbid.
No. We are not transitioning to a political channel. But,
I
what
play
do you call
games
that?
just to avoid all that
Yeah.
bullshit.
But like the HellDiver's 2 news was like Sony and all that shit. Just talk about a little stuff going on in the gaming community today.
Yeah, this is
Uh,
way outside of the realm of an ARPG, but because it's such a juicy, and I think it has a lot of correlation with like some of what we talked about in previous episodes about like GGG and the way they do business.
yeah, it does. You have a company that is doing like good things that make the community feel relatively good, and then you have these guys that are, they made an interesting play. I will just say that.
So I will preface this conversation. So if you don't know what Helldivers is, it's a video game. It's a game that came out about 10 years ago. With the first one, and it was a top-down, almost kind of similar to the ARPG style art play. And it did
Oops.
fairly success. I bought it. I played for several hours. A lot of my friends at the time also got it. And it worked almost exactly how the second one worked. It's the same formula. It's basically 4 players. You drop in, drop out, and you just pretty much kill shit. Just hordes of shit. And it's pretty fun. Upgrades, weapons here and there, blah 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 blah. And then after the commercial success of HellDivers 1, obviously they started working on HellDivers 2 and it released. Now, what most people didn't expect is how fucking great it was going to be. So in HellDivers 1, the game did not have that Starship Troopers feel to it. It kind of just more serious. It's more like we gotta kill the bugs and kind of thing like that. But the developers really took an interest in turn with Helldivers 2 and kind of adapted more of a parody of the game itself and just went with all in with the I don't what like the parody of like Helldiver Starship Troopers. I don't know what to call it as far as a general genre, but that kind of art
Like a
storytelling.
satire.
Yeah, that satire storytelling.
A
Um,
satire.
so it
Sorry.
really took off, and the community really fucking enjoyed it to the point where it was completely overwhelmed by this level of success, and very quickly became one of the top selling games. Um, and honestly, it probably has a good running for Game of the Year. Like it has a really good chance of winning until corporate America basically took over. And essentially, when the game came out,
Wait, hold on,
oh, I missed
hold.
something.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to call it corporate America. Sony is
Well, it's a
not.
corporate decision. It wasn't a developer decision.
Right, but you said corporate America.
Oh,
Like
okay. So
that's.
Sony isn't Sony an American company?
I don't think it is. No,
Oh, you might be right.
it's a Japanese company.
Oh, you might be right.
Like, come on, bro. Like, that's why I was like, hold
Sony
on.
Company.
Yeah, you go ahead and look. I'm pretty
Sony
sure it's a
Company
Japanese
Corporation.
company.
Formerly known as is Japanese. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
See, this
Oh
is what I'm
shit.
saying. Let's not be.
Okay, let's not be American
false.
hater. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Reel it back in. All right.
this was just a
Until
corporate decision.
a corporate decision, basically has ruined the complete experience of what's happening. So, from my
And the
understanding
thing
of
is, it didn't even happen. That's that's the other thing that's weird.
it did, but
Well,
not
part of
here.
it did.
Not
Yeah,
here.
half of it did
Yeah. So
because the patch didn't go through here.
right, they stopped it before it did. They stopped it
But
before it
the
did.
whole removing it from markets
Mm-hmm.
around the world did
Mm-hmm.
happen.
So basically, when the game was released and GGG, I mean not GGG, sorry, when the
Sony.
development company, which it was, what the damn, I should have looked them up before I started talking about this. I thought I would have remembered, and I didn't. HellDiver's 2. Boo. Good thing I still have it installed. Start page.
Right.
Arrowhead Game Studios.
Yeah.
So when this game was released and it was announced and it was pretty much released, there was no need for third party subscriptions. It was no need for anything. It was all you needed Steam and go. So a lot of people bought it. A lot of people played it,
Gifted it.
gifted it, invested in it, bought money into it, microtransactions, the whole nine.
Oh, I'm doing Maven, by the way, if you wanted to just watch and show. I'm streaming it just in case you want
Oh,
to.
just save a clip. If anything, we can show it as a like once you kill it, like save a clip.
I don't think my clips are long enough for Maven.
1 minute. So as soon as you kill it, save a clip,
I'll try.
and it'll be
But
the last minute of you killing it.
it's just like Maven's fucking memory game. I was just like thinking about the whole thing. But yeah, go ahead.
Uh, so yes, Arrowhead, at no point had no intentions of making it be required to be a PlayStation exclusive, Sony exclusive. So it didn't really require a PlayStation account. It was going to release it on Sony. I think based on some kind of decision, Sony and PlayStation agreed. But once the success level reached what it was, Sony apparently said, hold up, we need to capitalize on this. And we now require, if you want to continue to play the game, to now make a PlayStation network account.
That's not how that worked. That was in the terms of services from day one.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it
Because
was
it was never.
deactivated it was deactivated
Mhm.
on release. But in the licensing and all that shit, it was said that yes, indeed, it was meant to be that way from day one.
And
But
I'm
they
looking at it
but
right
they
now on Steam right now. It says requires third party account, PlayStation Network support link into Steam account. So it is now updated on Steam, and it says incorporates a third party DRM and protect Game Guard. Now, the reason why this is so much drama is because a lot of people outside of the United States don't really have access to PlayStation Network now, and also their internet is limited. And so to play a Steam game, which most people bought a Steam game, now they have to require them to make a third party. Most people don't fancy that. They don't want to deal with that. So then began the mass exodus of refunds. But the problem is Steam policy is that, you play the game more than 2 hours, you don't qualify for a refund. And because of what occurred, then Steam pulled the game off of the shelves in over about over 170 countries. So they pulled the game off of their platform. I don't know if at any point the game was not on the platform in the US. I don't think it was because it never left my library. But and I think as of this article, which was about a day ago, they still have not really brought them up yet. They're trying to see how they can implement some of these, um, the Sony PlayStation accounts with, because there's a lot of people not wanting to do this, and there's a lot of people that really pissed off with this whole process. But it's also a lot of people that spend a lot of money on this, so it's kind of like, what the hell is what's pretty much gonna. Personally, I don't understand what the big deal is, but I've never experienced.
Well, first of all, it's a scummy move to so I'll explain it to you this way. Imagine you were driving your car for 6 months, right? You had a little clause in there, but they weren't enforcing this clause that said that you're gonna have to go and pay for a fucking subscription service to go and like push your pedal or some shit. You after 6 months, they now update your car and then make you make this account. After owning it for that point, you can't return the shit now. It's already lost value. Da 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 da. It's if it was from day one and they enforced it from day one, nobody would have complained.
Right.
I'm really sure that nobody would have given a shit because if you couldn't play the game, you wouldn't have bought the game. But they They lowered the fucking requirements so that you could install the shit on your system for 6 months and then made this change. All because Sony saw the fucking opportunity to grab and make their numbers look better to their investors
Mm-hmm.
by having an increase in subscription
Well,
or in
yeah,
PlayStation account.
yeah, because once you subscribe to the system, you give your emails, they can add revenues by sending you
And
spam.
and in some countries you need to send them your fucking identification. It's not just your email. This is America. They can't do that here, but in a lot of other countries you need to send them who the fuck you are.
Right.
That is wrong. That is so wrong on so many fucking levels. It shouldn't be something
A lot of
that
people play
is
this stuff on VPNs as well.
right. Like so you're I'm not okay with how they decided to do that. It's just it was scummy. It was scummy as fuck. And I'm glad that the community came together and was just like, "Nah, we're not going to take this shit. Review bomb the fuck out of it." And it's one of those things where I'm
Well,
really happy to see.
I'm glad you brought that up because one of the managers, the game,
He's just like, "Wow."
the developers managers said and suggested, if you really hate this, feel free to give a bad review of this experience. And then he was subsequently fired.
Mm,
I mean, I can understand why they fired him. You're basically saying tank the game. But yeah, he took a stand. It was like, you know what, this is something that we didn't agree to. This is not something that we. It was our effort. If you really feel the way you do, go on wherever the game is posted and give your honest review of your experience. Tank it, which is ballsy. When you work for the company, right? And I guess they
yeah.
had to, Arrowhead had to let him go. The CEO has said that, as of right now, from what I'm reading, PlayStation has backed down. They're not moving forward with this decision. They re-rolled it, but the game is still not listed. The Steam it's not listed on Steam yet on these countries. I don't know how long it's gonna take, and I don't know what's holding it back. But the CEO of Arrowhead is still trying to figure out and negotiate with Steam to see if we can bring it back to game. Basically, not allow all the players to basically lose all this money. And I honestly think Arrowhead is more concerned about their bottom end, because if this game still continues to be not in the listed, they're gonna have to give the money back to these countries. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna fucking destroy that company.
They won't actually. That's part of the problem.
What,
There's
HellDivers or
no
Steam?
the for HellDivers, you're not going to get your money back for paying for HellDivers if it's been 6 months since you bought the shit.
Now that they do collective, because they could sue the company. They could do I've seen this done. I forgot what the game was. It was a similar situation, but what did happen was class action suits started happening across like individual countries, and it was like a cascading effect.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
you can't actual refund, but you could get 100,000 people to sue the company for the $60 back.
Okay, yeah, that might work.
And you
Okay,
could do that per country. And once you start hearing about that, all you need is an ambitious lawyer. Be like, all right, we'll do this, because once they won in that country, that's it. You just have presidents.
true.
But obviously, every
Uh,
country is different. Every different laws. I know some had success, some didn't, but the mass majority of at least Western countries did succeed in getting some of that money back. But you do pose a good point. Like, it's been 6 months.
it's gonna be. You have to now make a class action though.
Yeah,
That's kind of
yeah.
the problem, where it's just like kind of it's a bad situation. It's I don't like it. A lot of people don't like it. I'm happy that the community band together and actually did something. It's crazy because we're not seeing enough companies respect the will of the gamer.
So the game's population right now is down
I'm,
75%.
yeah, I was about to say probably a lot.
Yeah.
Because a lot
Um,
of people now aren't playing it just out of principle that they even did this in the first place. Like,
yeah,
it shouldn't have had to come to this point just from the onset. Whoever was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, just so you know, we're gonna activate that thing next month." Someone had to sit there and be like, "Wait, that's a bad idea, right?" Like,
yeah. Um, so when if trying to see when the first game came out. The game came out was released around February 8th at 64,000. And maybe a week later, it climbed to half a mil. And
okay,
then
so I'm sorry to interrupt. I can't not laugh at this. I'm sorry because I went onto the thing so I could see the Canva upload so that I could maybe upload the video of dropping just a quick orb of conflict from Maven, and I see the face that you have on the tech in a break is
who?
Law.
Oh yeah, the.
Yeah, but the character that I'm against is Claudio.
Yeah. I don't fucking know,
Okay, all right. I just thought that was. It says his name there.
dude. I don't fucking know, dude. I'm just like I'm trying to open up the Damn it, you're making me.
I'm
Uh,
sorry.
no,
Oh
no,
no,
it's fine.
no.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I figured I was gonna butcher it. Where the fuck is the time? Oh, there it is. The time.
That just made me laugh. I'm sorry. Uh,
No, actually, that's not law. I actually looked up the character, and that's the meme I found.
no, that's Law.
Is it? Did I
Yeah,
fuck up?
100.
I fucked up.
I see that dude's hair. That's 100% Law.
I fucked up. All right, I fucked up. Whatever.
It happens. I just thought that was funny.
Let me drop it into the last. There's two slots there for
Oh
the
yeah, I won't be able to do it at the moment, or else unless you want me to
Oh no, it's
respond
fine, it's fine,
4
it's fine.
seconds after you say something.
It's fine. Um. Anyway, so
Sorry.
yeah, so the game right now is sitting on about 118 uh players, and it has dropped obviously. What's I don't know what's going to be moving forward for it, but I wanted to make a pivot when it comes to obviously we're looking at Path 2 coming out. And one of the things that we've always tried to represent when it comes to Path is exactly the relationship that GGG has formulated with its community, and also how it's, like I said, it's the publisher, right? Tencent. How
Yeah,
Tencent has strategically stayed out the equation.
of the American market.
That's true of the American market. For any international listeners, I apologize.
It's only I only say it because
No, you're right. No, you perfectly
yeah,
right. And I'm as self centered as any other American. Um,
the
and we
only
do have
reason
some
it
overseas
pops
listeners, too.
the only reason it pops to my mind is the fact that Tencent is a straight up Chinese company that owns
I thought it
one of
was
the
Korea.
properties. Is it Korean? I thought no, I'm pretty sure Tencent is Chinese. Hold on, let me see.
Tencent, Chinese motivation, multinational investment holding conglomerate. Yes.
There you go, bro. Uh, and
What
the
do they
reason I
hold?
know that
Everything.
everything, League of Legends,
Everything.
dude, they have so many
Okay, so
games when it
Tencent
comes to
Games. I said Tencent Games. Let's see what they got. What they got. List
PUBG, Arena
of
Valor,
published.
Undrawn, League,
Do they not have
Monster Hunter Online, Ring of Elysium, Call of Duty Mobile,
Call of Duty
fucking
Mobile? Ugh.
yeah,
What?
Call of Duty Online, Wild Rift, like Street Fighter Duel, like all kinds
They
of
own
like.
Fortnite.
Do they?
Yeah. Oh, they partly own.
Okay, I was about to
Partly
say
own.
because I
Which means
don't.
probably most of it.
I'm not sure how much that would have been because they own basically PUBG Mobile, like hardcore.
Mm.
So and I know that there's some like tension there between those two devs.
Look how great they
Between
made League of Legends, though. Fucking
I don't
great company.
know, I don't know about great, right? Addictive maybe.
They
Uh
own Rocket League.
it's crazy. Like they have a lot of IPs, but from
A
what I
lot of them, yeah.
understand, they buy into them, right? So they never make
Mm-hmm.
them.
No, they never
So
make them. They wait for them to start skyrocketing, and they step in like, "Do you want some more money?"
do you want some more money for development and want to make skins that we can sell? And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah. Like,
Uh,
which, as far as like games go, right? You see this with like Dota and things of that nature, where as long as you're not charging people for the gameplay, most people don't give a shit.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It,
don't
it,
lock
it's
me out
it's just that they
of
get
playing
kind
the
of
game.
crazy. They get kind of crazy.
Honestly, for most shit, I'm fine with it. When I kind of like had to take a step back from Riot and Tencent when they came up with it's not even a $200 skin, it's a $200 chroma
Oh
for
my
League of
gosh.
Legends. And their justification for it was like, look, we were noticing that people that are like really crazy collectors were wanting something even more rare. The whales, right? People that
Mm-hmm.
spend monthly on Riot points and fucking buy shit and
Mm-hmm.
I need to have that
Yeah.
new skin even though I don't play that character. Like, shit like that.
Yeah.
But and it's just like I understand, right? I understand that there are whales out there and you as a company want to put things out there they can buy. But it was a chroma.
Now, when you say
Like
chroma, for the for
an
the for the
alternate skin for a skin. Right. So say you turn your character into Waluigi as a skin, right? A chroma would be like Waluigi as a skin with a purple hat.
okay, just for the
Or
record for everyone listening.
right, just to understand what we're talking about is if correct me if I'm wrong. People of the internet, like
What I've seen other
I'm
kind of
pretty sure it
chromas.
has no new animations different from
Okay.
the
Yeah.
original skin.
Yeah.
It is literally a palette swap.
Yes, those are the kind of chromas I've seen. So the chromas I've seen in cheaper games, I don't know if that part matters, but it's like if you have the original skin for the person, and a chroma would be you get it in red, white, blue, purple, and every other color swath. But it's the
Yes.
same textures. It's just the color scheme. Like you bump up the green, you bump up the red.
But
That's
now but
what
now
I've seen in chromas.
But now this is what they did, right? To try to justify the $200 chroma. They instead of making it a chroma like click, right, where you click all your other chromas, they added it as a different skin.
Wow.
Right? Like kind of it, and the
I
thing
think
is,
I
it's
think
not
I
like
get
they
it. I think I get it.
it's not even like they don't have prestige skins already that are
They own
basically
Darktide.
what?
As you talking, I'm just like going down the list of all the games that they have, and I seen Warhammer Darktide.
Oh my god. Tencent owns 80% of Fat Shark 2 years ago.
Oh shit!
Wow.
V
Or 3 years.
Rising. That's the game I started playing not too long ago. V Rising, Dune, GTFO,
Oh, GTFO was actually really good. I wish more people played it.
Nightingale, Dune Spice Wars. Anyway, go ahead. Continue. Vermintide, Vampire the
It-
Masquerade, the
yeah.
crazy
So
game.
if you're ever wondering, like, if you're playing a Tencent game, chances are
If it has
you are.
crazy amount of fucking microtransactions, that's usually the first. Hmm. This tastes a little 10
Tastes a
centy.
little, yeah. This tastes a little Tencent right now. What's going on? So yeah, that's actually interesting. But as long as like game companies stay out of like the gameplay, I don't really mind. Fucking Darktide just sells skins.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think they build it into the contract. We'll give you $3 billion as long as you start making skins that we can monetize.
That we can monetize.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
it's it's comes with the investment, and a lot of companies do it because, man, developing games is not fucking cheap. The
Not
people you gotta
anymore.
hire, yeah, the people you gotta hire, the fucking programming, the just being able to manage servers, being able to manage all this other shit. And when you
But then
have such
again,
a conglomerate that's coming in and it's giving you oodles of money, and they give you, they don't even, they play the long game. like they're not really worried about losing money as much as they are about losing IPs. So they'll give you $1 billion fucking dollars and expect maybe a 1% return. So you can't say no to that. Like it's just like, especially when you're like a small to medium developer.
True.
And I think
That is hard to turn down.
when GGG made that deal, they were a small to medium developer. They only had like maybe 15, 20 staff. And they
But
made that deal and they fucking tripled.
but that's the other thing, right? I think developing games has gotten expensive for those who are trying to capitalize it monetarily without making a good product.
Sure.
When you look at how many people are playing games and buying games, the number isn't really going like down, right? The
It's gone
money's
up.
there.
No, it's gone up. Like last 10 to
But
20 years, gaming has become a legitimate business as far as making money off of it.
which means like if you can make a good game on like a skeletal budget, like by yourself or something like that, release it on Steam, you're gonna lose a little bit of your cut, but you're still you have a chance of making it out there as long as you make a good game. People don't give a shit about graphics as much as developers would like to think. And how like with how much AAA gaming and the quadruple A and fucking pentuple A or whatever the fuck they're trying to call that shit, like
Which one's a 10, 10,
it was set as a
temple?
joke. It was
Which
it was
game?
set as a joke. I don't know. I can't remember who it was. I was watching one of those random documentaries, and it was just like, oh yeah, they took a shot at this company for saying that, and I can't remember who the fuck it was.
I'm just gonna go out there and let him say Bethesda.
No, it was again. Bethesda would have said that shit unironically. Bethesda would have been like, "This is gonna be a quintuple." Let's see,
There's
hold
some
up.
shit they said about what is it, Starfinder? What is it? I forgot the name of the game. That's how shitty it was. Uh Gosh.
I can't remember. It was something stupid that someone said in like a meeting of like a development where someone was just like, so they said that this was going to be a quadruple A game, and they were just like, well, this is going to be a
The only
quintuple A.
game I would give that title to, that I can't even say it. Whatever. 4 A's.
Oh,
4 A's.
quadruple.
Quadruple.
That's quadruple. Yeah,
What?
quintuple is 5.
Oh wait, is that quadruple? Quadruple?
Quadruple.
I thought it was AAA games is the highest it goes.
But a company was like, this isn't a triple A game. This is a quadruple A game.
All right. So the only game that I would give that marking to, honestly, and don't laugh at me, Crisis.
Why would you say don't laugh at you after saying something?
Because it's an old game. It's from 2013.
After saying something silly as fuck. Oh, I'm sorry.
And the reason I say that is because to this fucking day, that game is still held as the measuring stick of a performing PC. Like it's like how many Crisis games can you run? Like that's how like the community of like enthusiasts justify how good their computer is. But can you run Crisis at 8K? Like they still say things like that. And like for a game to be that memorable, that impactful to just PC gaming as in general, like you have to give it that one up. Like when that game came out, it was a AAA game. But for it to last and be that memorable,
hold up. So a AAA game just means that you spent around $20 to $80 million on the game, on development. It's not about the goodness or the graphic fidelity or anything like that. I think
right, and that's why I'm saying. Ooh, that's why
I don't
I'm saying
think
that.
I don't think Crysis spent 60 to 80 mil on their fucking game, bro.
Crysis.
I'm in the middle of Shaper, so I can't actually check.
Crysis development costs. See, the thing about Crysis, which was so expensive, it wasn't really about the game itself. 26 million.
Yeah, so it was literally a single A game.
Wait, it
Like
says
it's a great single A
one
game.
report said it cost some 26 million. According to another report, Crysis cost around 66 million to develop. It also mentioned that Crytek also broke even on the development cost for Crysis 1, 2, and Crysis Benefit. So there's conflicting reports, but
So it's either a triple A game or a single or a double A.
yeah.
So
But if we're
okay,
talking about hypothetical A's, like I would give a,
hypothetical A's means that you spent like 100 to 120
well, I
million.
meant more of the like the impact. It's
Oh,
actually
I'm not. But
lasting game.
again,
That's
like
what I would give a hypothetical A to.
the A is not supposed to represent like a a bar in the actual
So
game itself.
triple
It's
A
only
plus,
yeah, triple A plus. So like you
triple
just
A
spent
plus,
over $80 million on this fucking game, and
and it had a fucking lasting effect forever. Like probably Baldur's Gate 3.
like BG3 bros. My God, I think
Oh,
I need to watch the video that popped up on my feed. It was saying that did anybody actually play Baldur's Gate 3? And I'm really curious what the fuck it is, other
uh,
than just some dude clickbaiting me and fucking making me think that he's gonna be like, no, nobody played it. And it's just like, yes, I'm
uh,
pretty sure
oh
a
my
lot of people
Jesus
played that game.
Christ! It Baldur's Gate 3 cost over $100 million to develop.
Yeah, dude. That game, like,
Is this owned by Tencent too?
oh, fuck no. I better not.
Developers, Larian Studios. What was wrong with these people? God, they're just. I don't
They
see a
did
developer. I
the
don't see
right
a publisher. They don't have a
Lariat.
publisher. They might be their own
Right, right,
publisher.
right, right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I actually think that was one of the big things that it's just like,
Ah,
oh
they
yeah,
kept all that money, bro.
well, what was it? Who owns D&D? Wizards of the Coast?
It's
I
not
think
Paizo.
so.
I have no idea.
Who owns D&D? Dungeons and Dragons, Ernest.
But I don't think was Baldur's Gate
Yep,
on D and D.
the game was acquired by Wizards of the Coast in 1997. Technical Studios Rules, which is the people who made the Dungeons and Dragons books. And yes, to play or to make Baldur's Gate 3, they used D&D things, which means that it was like they rented the intellectual property. Like that's the way that worked. Fucking, they had to answer to D&D, to Wizards of the Coast when they made that game. And Wizards of the Coast, though, from what I understand, was being very hands off with
Yeah,
like the
it says it
development.
led to a 7% increase in earnings for Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah,
40% in digital revenue for Hasbro. Hasbro has a Hasbro has a.
Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast.
Oh, Jesus Christ! It's like a
Mm-hmm.
never-ending snake of who owns what.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 It's
So
crazy, bro.
Hasbro
Like
gained 40% in digital revenue. The operating profit for the company rising to 99% in the third quarter. The game success
and they
also led
might
to Jesus Christ.
dude, side note, sidebar, that is about gaming but not about video gaming. I think D&D, the Wizards of the Coast, just shot themselves in the dick.
What happened with them?
Oh, releasing the new D&D.
What like
Like,
5 point
what is it? D&D 1 D&D. I want to say it's called 1 D&D.
I'm on their website. I don't know. I'm not well versed on D&D.
Yeah, it's called 1 D&D. um it's basically like, how they made like 5e and all that shit.
Is
They're
it like a
basically trying to
Pathfinder
make it.
version? Like a
I
more
guess.
more streamlined version?
I think it's supposed to be, but I don't think it is. But I think it's supposed to be. I don't know if it's released yet. But I do know that not very many people bought it. No, 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 yeah, yeah, it was released. Not many people bought it because people were assuming that they're just going to release another book next year anyway. And a lot of other like tabletop RPGs are getting like their time in the spotlight because Wizards of the Coast aren't the only game in town right now. So you have a lot of like smaller companies and like Kickstarters that are making their own tabletop games and are releasing it,
Mm-hmm.
that are part of like the D&D community. Um
Well, the
like
tabletop community, not the D&D
that
community.
are, no, the D&D community. What did they, not D20. Actually, I think also D20 has their own TTRPG, and the other one, the other really famous one, does as well. They just released it, and then
Foundry?
a couple. No,
Because you said D20.
right? No,
Paizo.
no. I'm sorry, not D20. Dimension 20. The group of people that play D&D. I think they released their own, and then what's the other one
So
with Matt
you're talking
Mercer?
about developers,
No, who's
D&D
the other one with?
developers.
No. Who's the one with Matt Mercer? The videos of D&D people. It's
Oh, the gaming communities.
yes.
Matt Mercer.
Critical Role.
Critical Role, yeah.
Yeah, Critical Role. I think just released their own D&D like game.
So it's the rules of the D&D with their own added rule
No,
sets.
no, it's literally their own game.
Like video game.
No,
Tabletop game.
TTRPG.
Okay.
Yes, it is their own game that they've made their own rules for. They've made their people
But
and shit.
why do you keep calling it D&D then?
I call it because they're a huge part of the D&D community.
So I think we ran into this problem when we were running tabletop games. Like when we were doing our own tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
When you say D&D, you are specifically talking to the brand of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
But for the layman's terms, D&D just means tabletop.
Well,
so
we're not
I can't tell if you're talking about the brand D&D and the rules and all that shit with D&D, or you're talking about the tabletop in general.
Assume that if I mean tabletop, I'll say tabletop.
Okay.
Or I'll say TTRPG. If I say D&D, I mean D&D. Okay. Like I like the Critical Role is very ingrained in the D&D community because a lot of people watch their content.
Well, D&D is the original OG.
Right. But they have come up with their own TTRPG.
And they're moving away from D&D.
Yes. Which is bad for Wizards
D&D.
of the Coast.
Yeah.
Because now, from what I understand, nobody wants to play one D&D, which is the new edition.
I mean, it's like a new version of Windows. No one fucking adapts that quick. Everyone likes the old versions.
I think it's more than that. Because again, a lot of little groups that were making content for D&D are making their own TTRPGs. D&D is not the only big game in town anymore, and a lot of these games are supposedly like really fucking fun and really good. And they're
I mean, Paizo has been
yeah,
killing it with Pathfinder.
Killing it.
The Pathfinder games have been fucking amazing.
Yes.
Like,
yes, they have.
They're a bit too much for me.
They're a lot.
Like I play them, I enjoy them, but it's like, fuck, this is a lot. Like they take like at least 100 hours to complete. Like honestly, so if you're into a long ass game and you don't mind RPGs, look up the Pathfinder series, Kingmaker, or the last one, Wrath of the Righteous, or whatever it was called. They are very good games. But yeah, Paizo's been killing it when it comes to the genre of making games, and so
Wizards of the Coast have seen like a really bad loss in revenue recently, and a lot of people are not. I'm not sure. A lot of people are attributing it to the fact that there are so many options now that are like good options that nobody wants to like pay that much for a game, for an edition that is just going to be, there's just going to be a new book next year. And the way that Wizards of the Coast
a new book, you mean
a new edition. Yeah. Well, no, an update. It's no longer 5e. It is 1D&D.
So what? I hate when companies do that.
It's the new. No, yeah, I know. It's the new. That is the new edition. Is 1D&D.
It's like when Xbox kept changing their
shit. Yeah, Xbox One, Xbox 360, Xbox X Series 5.
Stop, dude. Like it's hard to keep track.
Can't we just call it the PlayStation 5? Like I love that PlayStation that Sony has kept with just like their
like
names.
It's just simple. PlayStation 6.
Yeah,
and I'm okay.
Buy one.
I'm okay when they reach to 10. I'm okay if they call it a PSX.
Yes, 100%.
I'm okay with that.
Because that makes sense.
Want to switch to
But
Roman numerals? I'm good.
But no, Xbox, like, we made 4 consoles. Let's call it the Series X. Why? Because it sounds cool. It's got X in the name, like Elon Musk says. Sorry. But
why would you call? I don't. I'm. This is why I'm not rich.
This is why we're not rich.
Yeah, I don't think like rich people.
I just don't get it either, bro. Like,
get it.
The thing is here we are laughing and making fun of it while they're just, sitting in their billion-dollar houses, fucking
just
making money.
Like, X.
You laugh at us, yeah.
People like.
He tried to do that. I don't know if you remember. He tried to do that with PayPal, and I want to say it was either the late '90s or the early 2000s. Because the whole PayPal thing where he was in the PayPal ecosystem, and then he was like, I want to make a thing where you can buy all this shit online. I don't know if he's the one that came up with the idea, but he's part of that. Yeah, he's part of that thing, but he wanted to call the card the X card. I kid you not, like, look this shit up. Like, he made an X credit card, but nobody bought into it because everybody was thinking it was like some porn membership or something.
I have a I don't want to say this on the recording.
You have a what? You got an X card?
I came up with a dumb idea back in high school, and I said to myself, like, why don't people just make it like a? So I'm sorry, I'm laughing because remember when I told you that I think I'm like a natural cult leader.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is one of my stories, right? That I was I came up with some stupid thing. I said, why don't people just get together and like make conglomerate of like not selling to outside people and just sell it to themselves and at discounts and stuff like that. And it could call it. You know what I called it?
What?
X Society.
Oh my god.
It's sheer coincidence, bro. Sheer coincidence. I was thinking to myself like, oh shit, hold on, wait. I also wanted to call something X too. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Damn, I could have been my $1 billion idea, bro. Damn, rich.
Could have done it, bro. You were right there on hitting the $1 billion Sigma grind set, and you failed.
Nah, I may have to be careful if I ever write a book. Don't get sued by Elon. Like, no, you can't use the word X.
Shit,
X
bro. The fact that we mentioned his name, he's probably listening right now.
Oh, yeah, dude, that dude's way too plugged in. How do you and not to bring it back to politics, but it's like Trump. How do you say that plugged in? How?
Bro, it's actually a lot easier than you're thinking because you and I are poor.
But you can't just be rich and like,
bro,
stay rich. You gotta keep hustling.
What does Elon Musk do?
Bro, he runs like 8 companies. No,
bro, tell me, what does he do?
He has meetings every day, all day.
So you're telling me that the man
Zoom
has
meetings?
Nah, dude, he's not 14 hours of meetings a fucking day.
Bro, he runs like 8
companies. How do you think he has so many responses on Twitter? The nigga sits in his bathroom for fucking 9 hours and fucking just diddles with his thumbs. You can bullshit me and tell me someone's bro.
He has Starlink, bro. He controls the internet.
Bro, you can bullshit.
He has Neuralink. He probably just He probably got a chip in his head. And he just think about it and just uploads straight to X.
You can bullshit and think the man is busy.
This sidebar. Wow, wait the fuck off.
But you talk about a fucking coal miner. And then compare on who's busier. The man talks to people and fucking plays video games while he's talking to people.
All right. Fair enough.
He doesn't work hard, bro. He may have some hours invested
that's the illusion they want you to think, right?
Right. They want you to think that he works all the time. The nigga don't work. The fuck? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting like black over here thinking about this. I'm sorry.
Need some milk.
Oh my god, man! Fucking
Um,
Take that, charlatan,
this
bro.
might make you feel better. Although it depends on how you think about this. I know Alex would be probably pissed off at this. His Neuralink is failing.
As it, I'm not like sad or anything
Well,
about it.
it's
I
the
do.
dude that they installed it in.
What do you mean?
So they
He's
actually
killing him?
have a human
Right,
trials with
right.
Neuralink, and
Yeah.
they put in his brain, and it's detaching.
Okay. That, and I understand. Okay, so I know this is probably going to sound bad, but that's probably in a weird way kind of expected. Not normal, but expected.
Brain's like,
You
get the
when you
fuck out of here, bro.
Not only that, but when you first do these things, it's not like you want to just take a stapler and fucking like heart attack. You know what I mean? Like you kind of got to be like, all right,
they put
just like
they put hot glue.
slide it up. Yeah, like they just slide it up to it, and they're just like, all right, we need these neurons to like kind of like
It's like
grow together,
120 neurons that
right? But they need to
electrodes that
like,
they connected to.
yeah, so like you need to have those like kind of like, I don't know if you, I don't know if it's actually true, but I would assume that you're not just like plugging the shit in where it's just going to be like
Uh,
super secured.
I don't know, dude. I think it's just like I think the neurons, the electrodes just wait for the electrical. It's like tasers. It waits for the electrical signal in that area of the brain, and then when it feels it, it turns on like tasers. Like small little taser detectors. And then it activates that part of the controller. It's like a really advanced controller just for the brain.
Yeah, it
And
makes
it works
sense.
pretty good. I've seen videos of the dude like interacting with a computer and then being able to like kind of like
You know, do shit. Yeah,
do shit with
I've
it.
seen the video.
But apparently it's coming out loose, and they may have to operate on him before he like punctures his brain or some shit.
Which I don't know why they wouldn't.
You know, at that
Just,
point,
you know,
I would just
just
tell him
kind
like, can you like make a you know like the pajamas with the hatch with the butt.
of, when you're doing brain surgery, they kind of do, but you kind of want your skull to kind of grow back around it, and
But I mean, just replace that shit. Put a metal like hatch.
but that doesn't mean that you're not still operating. What the fuck?
No, I know. I'm just saying, like,
I'm I'm
just
curious.
take the bone out, and just put a titanium plate. That
I'm
way, you can always
curious.
open it up in case you need to go back in there.
I'm curious as to what you think that would solve. They don't put hinges in our heads.
I mean, they gotta go back in. Now they gotta cut the skull
They
again and go back in.
don't add cabinets.
It's more efficient. I mean, it's just especially with something like this, right?
I don't even know like where to start.
You
I'm
gotta cut
just
the skull again, bro. That's dangerous as fuck.
no, it isn't.
I mean, I guess at this point they would have figured it out how to do it, right?
Right, they know how to do it. We're not in the fucking 1900s anymore, to where we're like, we don't know how thick the skull is. Like, no, they can put titanium plates, but that's usually if they have to remove like half of your head. But even in most cases, like back in like the 1960s and shit, when they would pull part of your skull, they would like make an incision in your abdomen and then tuck that skull piece in there, because the inside of you is basically sterile, and that's where it would be held. And then they would put it back, and then it would eventually like kind of like fuse together and,
Bro,
you
they
know,
would
grow
give you
back.
armor.
There are people who have had to have metal plates in their head because of, you know, numerous
It's
reasons.
one
But
step forward to being a computer, bro. Alex would love that.
I think the concept of Neuralink is awesome. I don't trust Elon Musk to do it,
You gotta trust
or
someone.
any. No,
You gotta trust the
I'm not.
government.
Yeah, actually, for these types of things, 100%. You know why? The government wants it to work.
I'm sure China's trying to work on something like that, bro. 10 cents right
Yeah,
on
but
it,
they're
bro.
probably, they, first of all, no, they don't.
10 cents
They
gonna put
don't.
microtransactions on your brain.
Not even that. China does not have the access to the same kind of chips that are an access out here. And from what
Yeah,
I
because they're at
understand,
war with Taiwan.
right. And I'm pretty sure we stopped selling them chips for that shit. So no, they can't make fucking guided missiles, let alone a fucking Neuralink. So no. Um,
Wow, we went off the fucking rails with this, bro.
This is what happens when you let segues happen into just random fucking nowhere.
All right, wait. Let's bring it back. Finish your last thought, and we'll bring it back.
No, I'm good. That was my last thought.
Okay.
Like,
So we ran off the rails because we were asking when it comes to development, and the path to development and decision makings that have to go and have to be made in order for path to be successful versus the history of path one. Now, again, in this situation with when it comes to Arrowhead made the Helldivers 2. It was commercially successful, which allowed them to make Helldivers 2. I think the difference between the two, if I'm not mistaken, is that, and I could be completely wrong. Let me double check this. I don't think Helldivers 1 they use I'm just googling it real quick. I don't think they used Sony as a publisher. No, they did. But I don't know if that was after the fact. If that was originally used in PlayStation to begin with. It is now. So
wait, I'm sorry, I got confused.
So Helldivers 1, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't know when Helldivers came out if they originally used PlayStation as a publisher. I don't know. I've never checked and never cared. I never was creating content back then. So I don't know.
Yes, it was a PlayStation Studios and Sony Interactive.
Okay. So I guess the difference is the ecosystem of PlayStation and the ecosystem of Sony and how the way they're conducting business, 5, 10, 20 years in the future. That triggered them to do it. So in light of that though, obviously we have a situation in which we have Path 1. And Path 1 is being partially developed with Tencent, and now we have Path 2 coming out, which again still have a similar, if I'm not mistaken, still has because it's being made by the same developer, it has the same relationship. I don't think Path 2
different team.
I know it's a different team, but it's the same developer.
Yes, but so when you make a game for a company and then later make a game, you cannot assume that the contract is going to be the same. Because
I know. I'm not assuming it is. I'm theorizing if it will be. We don't have that information accessible. I don't think it's out. POE. I don't know if maybe on their website they've disclosed that information. Path of Exile. And they haven't said anything about that when it comes to let's see. Programmers, designers. So Chris Wilson is definitely on the designer team.
Yeah, but he's taking a more backseat role on POE2 from the other gentleman. I can't remember his fucking name. Chris Wilson is just so easy to remember.
Yeah, we've had him for 100 years already.
And not to mention, he introduces each league. Hi, I'm Chris Wilson.
That's very important. It's a good impression.
It is a good impression. I know that fucker's name. Like, if I see him on the street, I swear to God, I'm yelling out, Chris Wilson!
Yeah, there's no information on this. Jonathan Rogers, I think his name is.
Thank you. Yeah. That dude is awesome. I like the way he answers questions. I like the way GGG answers questions from the community. I love GGG, dude.
They do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Although, if I had to really just, maybe I'm being salty because they don't come on our show, but
because have you ever emailed them? No, have you even tried? Then shut the fuck up.
No, I'm terrible. It's just that I wish they wouldn't repeat the same questions. I find it that in it's very rare that they do a press tour and different podcasts and stuff like that and different streamers. But I always find that they ask very similar questions. And I guess
it's probably the amount of information. You don't go and start interviewing Chris Wilson and just be like, I'm just going to be off the cuff. Right? We don't have that kind of pull. I imagine that there is a list of questions that you can ask that is based off information that they are willing to share.
I guess. Yes, but
What? Okay,
just
you
it
know,
just kind
if
of
you don't,
feels like dry if you're gonna just do the same interview 5 different times in different platforms. It's just kind of like I know it's great for the developer because they get more exposure to different audiences, which I understand that they need that. But like from my point of view, it's more like if the questions have already been asked.
which is why we have the whole, connected to GGG's fucking that's when you're watching GGG's actually what's it called, because they have teasers all the time. I don't think the content creator is the one that really does the teaser, and I don't think that they are the. I don't think GGG as a company wants the influencer to be the one releasing information. They do.
True. The question that I was asking was, in light of Path 2 being developed, do you foresee any situation in which Tencent can step in and alter any?
Probably in the Chinese market, because in the Chinese market they have extreme amounts of pull.
Yeah,
But again, that's kind of what
I've seen some
POE1
of
is.
their items that being for sale for money, and a lot of their money market auction houses much different than the U.S. company.
Yeah,
Than
but
U.S.
in a
I
way,
want to, and maybe this might be a question for some of our overseas listeners. How does Path operate on your side? We have, according to our, we have some people from Australia, Germany, New Zealand, Brazil, South America in general, and the United Kingdom, India, and a few other places. I'm not gonna keep going down the list. But yeah, so if you're listening to this part of, like, I'll put in the questions, and how does it operate in your side of the woods as far as Path? Do you have items for sale in your market? I know the Chinese market does because I've seen videos of it. Like you can buy like tabula rasas, like League Launch, and a few other items. It's been a while, but how does it operate on your side? Do you have, what does your microtransaction look like? For us, it's mostly just non-competitive items. It's mostly cosmetic. Although you can make the argument that stash apps are very competitive.
so from what I understand, China has looting pets. They have death recaps. They have a literal pay to win league where it's just like whales versus each other. And yeah, yeah.
So
There
wait,
is a
did they
Chinese
have the
auction
one
house.
thing that I want, which is like the recap of why that fucking killed me?
I guess.
That a lot of people ask about, and this is the death recap.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Maybe the way it's, if they, I don't like a bad death recap. Like I'd rather
It's
not
just,
know.
I'm just gonna say this. I don't fucking read Chinese.
But
I
you can
have
tell
no
the
idea
UI.
what the
You can
fuck
look at
is.
the UI. Huh?
Yeah, it's just a message.
That a lot of people ask about.
Yeah, it's just a fucking message. Like I'm good.
You have been killed by skeleton.
I have no idea, but I'm assuming that. Yeah, but
um.
yeah,
All right. Well,
I
either way. Yeah, but that's the essential question.
yeah, I would like to know. Send us some screenshots. Say what's up. I would like to know. Hey, by the way, press a button.
Yeah.
You've been listening for a while. I'm glad that you chill here in our room. We're cool, right? I'm not gonna tell. I'm not telling you to leave. But if you want to keep hitting the coffee with me, then hit that button.
Hit that button. Now here's the next step. You hit that button. You're like, oh, but we already hit that button. Like we good. No, 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 no.
Oh.
No, you're not. Share it with a friend. Right? We need them to also hit a button. That way we can grow. Right? We don't got no ads. We got nothing going on right now.
Don't pester your friends.
I'm just
Get the fuck out of
What do you
here.
mean? You can't pester your friends. Who you gonna pester?
Your mom. your cousins, family. You pester family. You don't pester
I already
friends.
done that. I gotta like extend my pestering. You know what I mean? Like, we're just trying to get Chris Wilson in here, right?
I honestly believe that that's actually a lot more simple than you're letting on. But maybe I'll
we gotta offer something. We gotta like offer like, hey, we have 100 people. And
no, I don't think
they'd be
we
like,
do.
Call us back when you get like 10,000.
You should be like, how about this? You give us this interview and we'll have 10,000 because 10,000 people want to know what you're saying. So easy. Just be like, I'll argue with that shit.
I don't know.
Just be like,
Maybe
dude,
we gotta work on that email. We gotta collectively work on that email. But yeah, share with a friend if you think this is helpful.
Or if you just know a friend that likes bad content,
we gotta
show
talk
them our
about
shit.
that conversation though.
What conversation?
The one that you shared with me?
I'm so confused.
The one you shared with me about new players and casual players.
Oh,
we gotta talk about that. So that's a sneak peek to the next episode. We're gonna be talking a little bit about like
I had a little bit of drama. Just a little, not a lot.
It's the difference between a casual player who can only play 2 hours a day and someone like Coffee who basically much lives in Path or Tekken.
I just live in the game. Any game that interests me. I was playing HellDiver's 2 today. It's pretty fun. So still, like the game itself is still fucking awesome.
And I really enjoyed your rebuttals when I read because even though you understand you are part of that 1%, you still like you're not Elon. You know, you're like, nah, bro. Like it's you still
just be rich. Like
yeah. Your feet are still on the ground. Like, nah, bro. I struggle, bro. I struggle. Like it's just that I've obviously I have more time than you, and that makes the difference. That doesn't. Okay, I'm talking too much about the conversation. That's a sneak preview. So stay tuned to the next episode. We will be diving into that. I was super hyped about it. I was like, oh, this is a fucking great episode. But anyway, hit the button, share, and then stay tuned. Have a good one.
Have a night.